Hello and welcome to Rock and Roll with It. We are back with a very, very exciting installment today. I'm Teddy,
I'm Holly.
and we are so ecstatic to be joined by a really quite interesting guest, an international guest, in fact. We're joined by Johnny of Man with a Mission. Welcome to the show, man.
Hi, this is Johnny from Man with a Mission, and it's a pleasure to be on this show. Thank you very much for having me.
Oh, well, I think there's no better place to start. And I want to hand the floor over to you for this, Johnny. For the uninitiated, can you sum up what Man with a Mission is all about, who you are, and what your
Okay.
music is all about?
I'm not sure if everybody's watching this right now. Can all the guys see me right now?
Some people will be able to see you, some can hear. So I'll let you explain.
Okay, well, these this gentleman and this wonderful lady right here is right now watching to a wolf, the head of a wolf, and we have a body of a human being. Man with a Mission is we have five members of the band, but all of us look like wolf. Yeah, we have a head of a wolf, a body of a human being. We were made by a mad professor a long time ago, but that's a long story, so I'll skip that one. All that matters is we rock and roll, and we are heading back to UK and Europe soon, so you guys have to be ready for that.
Oh, yeah, 100%. And you mentioned it just a little bit there about
Uh-huh.
being half men, half wolf, scientifically created in a lab as
Yes.
the ultimate life forms. How
Uh-huh.
do five half men, half wolves end up making music?
A long time ago, when we were first made, the professor, well, told us to do all the evil deeds, yeah, that he wanted us to do. And yeah, we were sticking on with that. Nothing to do with music in the old days, but one time, I guess we went too far. The professor decided us to freeze us in the Antarctic, the ice. Yeah, we were frozen there for a long time, quite a while. But during when we were frozen, we still had the superpowers to listen to all the music that was going on in that era. And it really moved our heart. I mean, really, music was great. And at that time, we promised ourselves that if we had a chance to get out of the ice, yeah, we definitely have to do something with music. And that happened in 2010. Sad news, but because of the global warming, we were able to get out of the ice. In 2010, we formed a band, and it's been 15 years doing it. But it's so far it's so great. I'm really glad, lucky that we found out what music is. Yeah.
Well, I think there something which we've got to dive into potentially is that music because
Mm,
your music is such an amazing hybrid, particularly for us listening over here in the
really.
UK. There's elements of like J-pop, rock, all sorts. How
Mhm.
would you describe it?
I guess me, myself, and most of the members are a huge fan of the music that was going on in the 90s. Yeah, the era. I mean, if you want me to like pick like artists that we were influenced by, but that would be a big list, a huge list. I mean, Nirvana, the Smashing Pumpkins, I talked about UK, Oasis, the Stone Roses, the Chemical Brothers, Prodigy. I mean, everything. The era itself. I was a huge fan of what was going on in the 90s. Alternative rock, mixture, hybrid kind of stuff. I guess it's the free-minded kind of experimental yeah, attitude that they had in the 90s. We have a huge influence from that. And today, music is still evolving, but I guess we're trying to blend in the heritage of what we saw, what we heard in the 90s and try to adjust into the new era and like, yeah, inheriting and experiencing it at the same time. So that's probably the major reason that we sound really hybrid, mixed up and stuff like that. Yeah.
And that's a pretty amazing list of musical influences. I mean, every single one, I was like, yep, love that, love that. But what's your creative process like, and how's your music evolved over time?
First, just like ordinary bands, the main songwriter is me and the bass player. We just, jam a little, hum a little with, guitars and stuff. But now these days, it's all about technology. It's so easy to use like DTM and stuff like that using the PCs. And yeah, we added like a lot of ingredients from the computers and make a demo, send it to the members, and if they like it, we go. Yeah.
That's awesome. And I feel like I've got to ask potentially with this kind of hybrid music, the big word that comes to mind when I put on any of his stuff is fun. In fact, your fan club is called Fun with a Mission. How do you try and capture that sense of fun, which you then translate to a live crowd? How does that,
Mhm.
how do you spark that?
I guess it's, I mean, pretty blushing to say this, but it's all about the love of music. I'm a big fan of music, rock music itself. Yeah. And all I want to do is like have fun with making music and expressing it. And I guess, yeah, that's the only thing you need to create music, you know. You have to entertain yourself at first and believe that everybody else loves that. You know, we have a common sense and something in music and try to spread it and express it at the same time. Yeah. So I guess it's all about like loving rock music, anything, you know.
And I've noticed that your music is both in Japanese and English. So,
Mhm.
is there a deliberate reason for that? And what is that experience like hearing crowds across the world singing back in both languages?
Yeah, that's really amazing. I mean, like not a lot of Japanese, you know, the audience in Japan can sing like each and every word, but whenever we tour like for example, like Mexico, they sing every each and every lyrics, you know. It doesn't matter if it's English or Japanese or not. I mean, it's really amazing. At first we were a huge fan of, like I said, the music that was going on in the 90s, mainly like Western bands, you know, like the bands I gave examples. So we did first like think about writing songs mainly in English to be an international band. But like now these days, it's probably because of the internet. A lot of people reach out to different cultures and different like you know, music going on all over the world, and everybody's like not sticking to like their own language. They understand. They actually enjoy the Japanese music at the same time. So like now these days, it's probably a lot more easier for us to do it in both ways, Japanese or English. It doesn't really matter anymore.
Well, to go back to an artist that you yourself mentioned that was a massive influence in the 90s, Oasis, and to just
Mhm.
cotton in on something you said there about that people singing the lyrics back. There's this wonderful anecdote that Noel Gallagher tells about
Mhm.
going to Korea and the whole fan base there all singing back these words in perfect English, and
Uh-huh.
how he said it didn't matter at that point if they knew what the words meant. He said they can't have done because I don't know what the lyrics mean. But
Okay.
there's such a universal language of music there, such a story that's told. And
Mhm.
I guess for a band like you, which do a lot of music for anime as well, which is almost like storytelling in itself because you're soundtracking, what
Yes.
kind of story are you trying to tell with your music, whether it be in English, Japanese, that
Uh-huh.
kind of language which we don't need to actually be literate in to understand?
Yeah. Talking about our band, the lyrics are like, well, of course, like every other band, you know, we sing about a lot of stuff, a lot of, you know, uh, anything that you confront in life. But probably mainly our message is about like the way of struggling through life. We're wolves, so we're not normal human beings, but we know the hardship that you can go through when you're living on, carrying on. You know, everybody, you know, bleeds and learns. They all have hard moments, but they try to struggle, carry on, and it's always about like believing in yourself and getting hurt by someone else, but you just have to have your own belief and carry it on. And sometimes even like inherit it from the one you love or the one you think's your friends or something like that. Yeah, it's all about like feeling the beauty and the disgusting moments of life, but just carrying on. Yeah, it's probably that struggle that makes the main message of our music, the songs.
And I can't imagine how many shows you've done over your career with Man on a Mission. But is there one moment that really stands out for you? Like one where you're like, that's the best moment of my career so far?
There's so many moments. I mean, like
It's
talking
a
about
mean question.
yeah, it is. It's a hard one. But like, standing on the stage of Reading, I mean, I saw a lot of my hero bands on that stage, and it was a great moment. Even talking in Japan, Fuji Rock was a great moment too. Recently, we had the chance to stand on the Red Rock Amphitheater in Colorado, Denver. Yeah, that is a legendary venue, so that was a great moment too. But like above all, I think it was like 2011, and we were joining in a local festival in Kyoto, Japan. That was only the first year of our career, and we were not like well known like we are today. Probably a lot of people were noticing us as like there's a weird band wearing a mask with a wolf, and well, this is not a mask. This is what we are. But whatever the people say. I mean, yeah, they were talking about us on Twitter and stuff like that, and it was the band's anticipation. The anticipation towards the band was kind of emerging, but not that big enough. But when we took part in this festival in Kyoto, um, before we hit the stage, we only expected like what 600 people or maybe like 700 or something like that. If that was enough for us, but the moment we went on the stage, there was like 2,000. Actually, the area was totally packed. People couldn't fit in, everybody was just coming. And that moment was really beautiful. I mean, like now these days we have a chance to collaborate with big labels and commercial kind of stuff, but that was just like pure emerging anticipation from whatever the people were talking about, the rumors of this band. And that moment, 2,000 people. I mean, luckily we have a chance to like confront 50,000 people sometimes in a huge venue. But like that was the moment felt the pure energy of a band can do, music can do. And, it was a glorious moment. Yes.
Well, you mentioned there as well about like playing shows. You're just off the back of North American tour and just having an amazing time by the looks of it. We're super excited. You're coming to Europe and the UK at the end of August, August 31st at the O2 Kentish Town Forum.
Yes.
How was
Mhm.
touring and how excited are you to come to the UK?
I mean, it's always an honor for me to, go go and play in the United Kingdom. I mean, as I said, one of my favorite bands came from your country, and somehow I feel like the people in UK in Europe like listen to rock music in a different way comparing to like other countries. You guys have a long history, a pure, very proud history of rock and roll and music, and I guess that makes the audience, really in a good way, listen to our music really seriously. They take it really serious. They listen to our music purely, and it's always a challenging thing to do and an honor for us to play in the UK. I'm really great. It's really great to be back. Yeah.
That's really cool as well, thinking about how we might listen to music differently. And we certainly do have an amazing heritage of music
Yes,
in
you
the
guys
UK.
do. Uh-huh.
But one thing I did want to ask about you traveling around the world, like what sort of home comfort do you bring? Like, is there anything that you're like, I can't go on tour without this?
From Japan.
Yes, yeah,
Well,
yeah.
I mean, actually, I really enjoy, the different culture when I tour. I mean, I never try to go to like Japanese food and stuff like that. But some of the members, I mean, immediately they always bring like miso soup and stuff like that. Yeah, it's probably all about your eating stuff. Sometimes it's a really culture shock when you eat different things from other countries. So yeah, I'm really good with going on with any food all over the world. But some of our members, yeah, they definitely bring a lot of Japanese food from the home country.
Well, I was going to say big British music heritage, not so much British cuisine. So I think you might be onto something there with that.
Yeah.
But talking about touring, and you mentioned there about that moment in 2011, like 2,000 people, and how at that point, that was huge for you guys. That was like the eureka moment, the epiphany moment.
Mhm.
What has changed for you and the band since then? 13 years on, obviously, we've had global pandemic, which has changed music in such a radical way and the way we
Mhm.
absorb live music, maybe the appreciation for it. But for
Yeah.
you, five half men, half wolves, what's changed in that 13 years?
During this 13 years, I mean, like, whenever we started a band, of course, even today, it's all about like trying to reach out to more people, trying to make, well, not make, but deliver our music or message to more people that we can. But at the same time, I guess not only making music, but listening to the music that's going on. The music trend has changed a lot during this 13 years, really rapidly changed. And I kind of like feel the growing emotion of I really love making new music by ourselves, but at the same time, I try to enjoy like the heritage, like inheriting what we really love about rock music at the same time. And that's why we probably blend in like the essence that we felt in the 90s, but try to, hybrid, make a chemistry with new elements today. But we always like try to balance that. We always put in the blood, the heritage of what we felt. And that's really growing since we've ever started a band, Now these days, like inheriting the feelings, the emotion that we had, that is a big motive for us right now, for me right now, yes.
Well, I think something there which is so cool. You mentioned about the fact like you love inheriting music and growing, and you work some with you as a band have worked with some really cool artists, like names that perhaps some of our listeners would recognize, like Zebrahead, Patrick Stump of Fallout Boy. What do you learn from writing and collaborating with guys like that who in some ways work in very different genres, even if there are similar elements? Do
Mhm.
you potentially teach them something about music as well and about their music?
No, I mean it's never about teaching anything, but like for example, when I worked with Patrick Stump, that was really interesting moment because when we tried to make the song, at first all he did was like talk to us like it was actually like I was talking to a shrink. He was like questioning me that what kind of culture do you like? What kind do you have a religion or whatever? What do you think when you get angry and stuff? Just like I'm talking to a shrink. And I was like, well, what is this guy doing? But the bottom line was he was trying to figure out the character of us because whenever he writes lyrics, the lyrics has to come out from the singer spontaneously, really naturally. That's what he was trying to do, figure out the key words, the key philosophy or the ideology that we have. And that was a really cool moment. I mean, it really totally makes sense. And I really love that kind of, building up philosophy kind of way of thinking. And it's always learning a lot from other people. It inspires me a lot. Yes.
Well, talking there about Patrick Stump, about Zebrahead, and some of the bands you love, you've talked about a bit about playing Reading Festival here, a massive festival we would know. If you were putting together your own dream festival, you're headlining Man with a Mission, and maybe some of the bands you're loving listening to, who would be on that lineup with you for the ultimate
Oh,
festival?
Oh, the bands
Yeah,
with us.
yeah,
Oh man, that's another harsh question.
yeah.
Um, recently, they said they're probably gonna stop making new music, but I mean, if I had a chance to like perform near Rage Against the Machine, I mean that would be like you know, uh, mind blasting. I mean, they're one of my top heroes in the 90s. Rage Against the Machine. Pumpkins as well, Smashing Pumpkins. Who else? I don't know. The Chemical Brothers, Prodigy. Yeah, just the band that we said. Yeah, Prodigy. Maybe that would not happen anymore, but yeah, I would definitely love to see them. Well, oh no, it is a question. I can't end it. Yeah, no.
I would go to that festival. Definitely.
Well, I think I know that had loads of amazing questions with you, and we won't want to take too much more of your time. We have a few quick fire things to try and finish up with you. And I think you've talked a lot about this growth. Obviously, you've got shows here the end of August, which we cannot wait for. But what does the future hold for you, Man with a Mission, and your all five of you, half men, half wolves?
We're we're not planning that much, you know. After we go to UK, we have a chance to hit Asia a little bit. Yeah, to tour a little bit in Asia, and I think that's about it for this year. And we've recently like released some new items, some new songs, but hopefully we work on with the next album because the last time we made it was, I don't know, two years ago, something like that. Yeah, maybe. It's been a long time since we last made an album. So yeah,
Oh, it's
hopefully we get on to that. But like talking about like ultimate goals and ultimate dreams and stuff like that. I mean, like just the question that you guys asked. I mean, joining in taking part in one of the biggest festivals like Glastonbury or whatever. I mean, and being a main headliner of those kind of festivals, that's one big, beautiful scene that I've always been dreaming about. It's just that atmosphere that people are waiting for just one band, one song. It's really borderless. They don't even care about which country the band comes from, what kind of language they sing in. They don't really care about that. Just waiting for the music, in those big festivals, the headliners. That moment, that atmosphere is so beautiful. And being a band, as a band, I mean, that is one true ultimate goal that I've been dreaming about all the way along.
I think that sounds magical. I think you put it so amazingly. There is that we to say it again, like that, coin that phrase, that universal language that we all speak. That one
Mm.
amazing moment. And I guess then, if you were to, we've said about the fact you're playing here in the UK at the end of August, the 31st at the Kentish Town Forum. For anyone who's going to go and buy a ticket now, having listened to this, what's the one thing you would like them to go away from that show thinking, like that one feeling, having seen you and the rest of the band? What is seeing Man with a Mission all about?
What is Seeing Man with a Mission all about? I mean, having a great time, but if you love music, we love music as well. And I'm sure you guys feel something whenever you come to our show. I mean, at first sight, you guys will probably be astonished. I mean, what the hell? No, they're wolves. They're five wolves on the stage. And what the hell? But somehow it makes the audience like purely dig into the music, like having a strong eye catch. Sometimes it makes people focus a lot more to the music. And I assure you that. I mean, as soon as you listen to the music, I know you human beings will find something common with these wolves, and I'm sure you guys are gonna love it. And I hope you get that from that. That's the only thing you need from a live show. I mean, you go to some live shows, and all you have to think about is the music, and all you have to, uh, yeah, all you have to dig in is the music, and I'll assure you that you'll feel that in our show too.
I've taken a lot away from this interview. It's been fascinating talking to you. Thank you so much for taking the time to chat with us.
No, my pleasure. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you so much, Johnny. And a reminder for you, if you haven't checked Man with a Mission out, you are missing out big time. Go check them out. Go and see them at the end of August at the Kentish Town Forum. It's going to be absolutely amazing. We certainly can't wait. Thank you so much for joining us, Johnny.
Thank you very much.